what I'm going to talk about has relevance to everything. Not just woodworking or audio or doing stuff, everything in the universe.
And much more sort of easily applicable to almost anybody's life, and that is
baked potatoes, and say, what happens if we want to bake an onion? That's what we're basically going to do here. Some of these recipes from the similar time period talking about doing it in a Dutch oven. We're just going to do it in a standard oven today. You could do it in an earthen oven. That'd be really good. And we're just going to be using a standard, largish, medium.
The shop vac.
This plywood thing is going to form a big suction cup to lift up.
The simplest crossbow ever.
What we always referred to at home as just a table pickle.
I know it penetrates skin from own experience.
And here it is. Little scale model one. Good for messing about in the living room. And it shoots
Patio stones. And I also need a handle to lift it by.
I bought 6 of these guns and mounted them into the machine here. And the machine basically is a drum with 6 of them mounted exactly the same way.
Question now is, will it work?
perhaps you know someone that needs something just like this built in their backyard.
This is a test that I did to measure how effectively the heat will go across a junction between two pieces of metal when it has different things in there. In particular,
pens or pencils.
When I graduated and I was teaching at Ithaca College in upstate New York, every morning my buddy Paul and I would go and play this home run derby game against each other.
For about 4 to 5 hours of time, rather than usual earthquakes lasting only a few seconds, maybe 20 seconds for the big ones. This one would have required that much time to crack the earth, hours to crack the earth, the duration, and collapsing the edges.
Between the source of heat and the heat sink.
Didn't you like the music? I said, what music? He said, you didn't hear the music in this? I was like, I didn't notice the music. I was focused so on the game. I was just trying to
get the cucumber, you bring them inside, and you start chopping them up.
Empty.
And I was like, man, this is so addictive.
We're going to build a small shop building, 26 by 36. 14-foot eaves, got an upstairs office in the back, 2x6 walls.
With a layer of softer wood, most often poplar, running between them, with the grain running at 90 degrees to the outer plies. The center block was about 4 inches wide and was the same thickness as the rims.
Polyurethane construction adhesive.
Bamboo, fiberglass fence posting, even maybe a bit of UPVC piping if that's what you do.
There was a small mahogany head block at the neck and another at the strap button end. The block was cut with a mortise for the neck tenon, and there were 2 routed cavities for the pickups.
Fairly uniform. Thick or as thin as you would like them.
The top and back had spruce cut to fit the arch.
And you put elastic bands or bungee cords on it. You can build it small. You can build it big.
This was a response to being criticized for putting
truss roof, a monolithic turned down edge slab. We're going to do it fairly step by step. It's not going to be anywhere near as big or as exhaustive as our
video arcade up where they had ping pong tables and everything. And this is where you'd go. You go and you play arcade games there, and you play games like Galaga or Asteroids or Space Invaders. And then when I was in grad school, there was a laundromat down the street from me.
It never really had a name, but growing up, it was on the table for every meal from the time the cucumbers started appearing in the garden.
And we want to spice that up. Just flour is really boring. And so what do we put in here? We put
a chicken leg, complete with skin. And I tend to give it to Rolfie later on, minus the bone, of course. He's going to love it. So I hope it's not going to be completely destroyed.
There's a series of events of unbelievable power.
Possibly after a peasants' rebellion, I believe. But either way, it was made to be purely functional and quick and easy.
It definitely did cause some damage. Look at that. Whoa.
I realize this is why kids that I meet, for most of them, are just not interested in music. They like
Dumplings boiled with flour, milk, and water, only with a little ginger and yeast when it is boiled. You butter it,
And you start chopping them up.
Yeah, very tender. Yeah, I don't think I can give it to Rolfie. Wow, it's full of steel.
This right here.
Had 2 rounded cutaways.
I guess you could say that I'm an old man.
And these triggers are actually quite funny because if I lift on the trigger,
It's going to show you more detail on a project that may be much more similar to something that you may be contemplating. There are an unlimited number of choices that need to be made about form and function and budget,
And we always make it with these smaller pickling cucumbers.
not to mention what it is that you know how to do or that you can find someone who knows how to do. And all of those choices have real-world consequences, and we're going to make a point of explaining to you why we've made the choices that we make on the site that we're building on.
Thousands of feet off the surface.
Just go and make one.